God freaking dang it. Carl the genius of the United States is not best or most in its executives or legislatures, nor in its ambassadors or authors, or churches, or parlors, nor even in its newspapers or inventors, but always most in the common people. Croxton and Enrique freaking the genius of the United States is not best or most in its executives or legislatures, nor in its ambassadors or authors, or churches, or parlors, nor even in its newspapers or inventors, but always most in the common people. Sona, when will Tom Cox going to leave soon? It's so boring.
Oh come on. Phil freaking Swift. Tom Cox is a nice man. Why do you hate Tom Cox?
Because Tom Cox is not a good person. It's too scary and creepy. Because Tom Cox is worse than petty freaking mutual heat. Just get rid of it. Please.
No, Phil freaking the genius of the United States is not best or most in its executives or legislatures, nor in its ambassadors or churches, or parlors, nor even in its newspapers or inventors, but always most in the common people. Swift. Tom Cox is not a scary person, it's just a freaking person. Phil freaking Swift, for the 15th and 16th time, since episode 58, John Cox will be stay here. Leave John Cox alone or you're grounded. You got that?
But Carl Crogston, Seattle Channel, and Enrique Sona, KCTS 9, please, make Tom Cox to get out. I promise it's going to be cool.
Phil freaking the best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Swift. Tom Cox is not leaving yet. Also, Tom Cox is going to stay here as well, and he's not going somewhere else.
Also, Governor James who said that John Cox is not going somewhere else, and he's not going traveling like China, Japan, Iran, Brunei, Syria, Mexico, Italy, Australia, Germany, Hong Kong, North Korea, South Korea, Asia, North Africa, South Africa, England, Ireland, Scotland, Uruguay, Japan, Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, BC, Puerto Rico, Greece, France, Paris, and many more countries. That's so freaking it. We're talking about John Cox, you're grounded until spring break. Promoting your real life freaking best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Now, you freaking best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Scariest medical can reflect freaking best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Taking a whole wide freaking best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. World.
You can Gulity Tom Cox.
Phil freaking the best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Swift. We're not telling the judge to Gulity Tom Cox. Also, it's going to stay here.
Also, court Mike said that John freaking best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Is not Gulity. That's so freaking it. for talking about gun-faking in the criminal justice system. The people are represented by two separate, yet equally important groups: the police, who investigate crime, and the crown prosecutors, who prosecute the offenders. Cops and sealers faking money with gun-faking cops, for talking about the non-supermarket blow, for talking about Mr. Burns and sealers, for talking about the man with the yellow hat, for talking about the National Guard to get rid of people faking in the criminal justice system. All defendants are innocent until proven guilty, either by confession, plea, pardon, or trial by jury. This is one of those trials leading phase faking in the criminal justice system. The people are represented by two separate, yet equally important groups: the police, who investigate crime, and the crown prosecutors, who prosecute the offenders. Leaders, for talking about work it out with wellness, for talking about ISO speed, for talking about the FBI, for talking about the Special Victims Unit, for talking about John Wayne, for talking about Lance Armstrong. For talking about One Direction, for talking about what makes you beautiful as a scary music video, for talking about Kurt Cobain, for talking about Little America, for talking about Paul McCartney, for talking about Smash Mouth. Also Steve Harlow died of asthma on September 4th, 2023 at the age of 56, for talking about Billy Joel, for talking about Nirvana, for talking about Illinois, for talking about Jeff Hawk, for talking about Scratch Garden, for talking about Eddie Van Allen, for talking about Neil Peart, for talking about Jeff Hawk for the second time, for talking about Money, for talking about ACDC, for talking about Metallica and Rage Against the Machine, for talking about the Backstreet Boys, for talking about One Direction is going somewhere else, for talking about the witness protection program to get rid of One Direction, for talking about the people to get One Direction passport from London, and also the flight has been cancelled because of a snowstorm, for talking about Jeff Hawk for the third time, for hit by the train with crabs in face, for talking about Lee Grammar, for talking Alexander Mission, for talking about John the Tank Engine, for talking about Sherlock Holmes, for talking about John McClellan, for talking about Father Brown, for talking about Andy's scary grandpa, for talking about Mr. Rogers, for talking about David Letterman, for talking about the SWAT team to get rid of London and Lisa and Julia, for talking about Mario and Luigi, for talking about Howdy Doody, for talking about the Teletubbies, for talking about Wallace and Gromit, for talking about Luca and Birdie, for talking about John Hanks, for talking about Rugrats, for talking about Ren and Stimpy Show, for talking about Dragon Tales, for talking about Breaking Bad, for talking about the Simpsons movie, for talking about Ryder Copy, for talking about kids shows, for talking about the live concert, for talking about Curious George 2, Follow That Monkey, for talking about Shrek, for talking about Ray Blue, for talking about the new Frank Samson with Cheers, for talking about the Polar Express, for talking about Shrek for the second time, for talking about Peppa Pig, and for talking about John Cox, you're grounded until March 1st. I'm out in your room right now, and leave John Cox as well, his scariest medical.